welcome along and welcome back to Attingham Park. We've got an early start today. We are starting out here on field 13. We've got courseplay running again. Look at all the stones we got out here. So very much the plan is to get this started on here, which we've got done now. And then we're heading back up here to the yard. We've got our seeder back here. We need to get this started on field 12A and get the wheat into that as well. So we've got that going. I've filled this back up as well on the way back. And then we've got to go and get the roller going over on field 6 because, of course, we've got all of that done. But before we can do that, I also need to go and get the weeding finished over on field 2A. Sorry. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff to do around here. Let's get this, yeah, folding that down. I kind of wish that folded down at the same time as the wheels fold up. That would be really, really useful on this. I can't see much use for it being on mouse control. You kind of either want it down or want it up, and having it in a where it just folds down by mouse is a little bit weird. So back this up to here, connect that up. I'm wondering if there's somewhere in the XML I can change that. That would be very cool if I could. Right, fold that up and then drop it down carefully like that. We'll then disconnect this and forwards. There we go. Sometimes it just goes up gears rather than going forwards. I'll kind of be using the flappy pedals on my wheel more for going up and down gears. So I might take them off my shifter now because it seems that it's just messing up a little bit on that. We'll connect this up like so and then pull it forwards, and this is a perfect place for it to finish. We are gonna go with course 2 headlands because of where we are. We should be fine again, and 90 degrees manual. Yep, generate fieldwork course, and you can see it's nicely set up there, really easy. But we've got to go over to the far corner to get it started, so away we go. So bring this down and in here and get it started at the first waypoint. We've still got wheat selected, which is what we want, and off it goes down like that and away. And brilliant, that is 12A started and hopefully finished today. Now, I said last time this was going to be doing a lot of work today, and it really is. We want to get it started here on doing the weeds. We'll do the weeds ourselves because that will be a fairly quick way of doing things. And we can get field 2A done fairly quickly as a result of that. Let's get some lights on because, well, it's still fairly dark. It's these November days, it gets dark very early. Same throughout the most of winter, but we're in a good place. Next time we're probably gonna be doing some selling off, I think. If we have a look in here, we can see that January, December, January, most of our crops are going to be January sell-offs by the looks of things. We still have 2,000 litres of corn, interestingly. I have no idea where that is. It's not listing our sunflowers here. So I do need to look at when the sunflowers are looking to be the best time. They're February, so we're okay for a while for those as well. We're going to be making a fair amount of cash when everything comes to be sold at the end or the beginning of next year, which is really good. The big idea this year is to end up paying off as much loan as we can. If we can get a large chunk of our loan done, I'll be very happy. We're kind of at the extent of what we can do field-wise, so I'm not looking to expand the farm this year, really. We've got a lot of fields, a lot of crops, and it's going to be very difficult for us, really, to keep expanding the farm without expanding our equipment first. And so, yeah, that looks to be about as far as we can go land-wise without a huge investment in equipment. And I don't want to start buying lots of new equipment until we have the money to support that. We've had a breakdown. The 7810 has stopped. It has dropped just under the 50%. It's saying it needs to be repaired. We're going to have to keep an eye on it then, and hopefully it will keep going. I could have dropped it into the workshop on our way through, but forgot to do that. So let's get it going again, and hopefully it won't break down too much. If we have to babysit it as much as we did on field 6 last time, that is going to give us big issues today. Meanwhile, this tractor, because it doesn't have a big amount of headland, has run afoul of this tree a couple of times. It's come up to the end and not really known where to go. I'm hoping again it's not going to have the same issue when it comes to the far end of the field. So let's bring this forwards, and nearest waypoint, yes. Right, and away that goes again, and we can get back to doing the weeding, which this little tractor is doing really well on. I've been enjoying this little 7610 the last couple of days. We've spent a lot of time on it. We're going to be spending a lot of time on it today, as I said, and we're going to be weeding in it today. We're then going to be rolling. As soon as we finish this, we're going to take this over to field 6 and get get field 6 rolled as well. And it's perfect for these little cleaning up jobs. Once we got that done, I'm kind of hoping we're not going to be doing too bad on getting a stone picker. There's not one in the sales. Now, the ELHO, that is 120 horsepower and quite wide. So that would be a fairly good one for us to get. 52,000, though, is going to end up costing us, put the BKT tires on it, 2,652 to lease. So that's not too bad, actually. And that is by far the nicer machine for us to get over, over the Dagelmesh and, the Dagelman Signature 7200. We don't have a tractor that will run the Rock King. We'll have to do it with the Signature. The Signature has a similar size container to it, but is a 2.3 meter versus, is a 2 meter versus a 5.5. So this will allow us to get that job done so much quicker. So I think we might want to get the ELHO and get rock picking in the 8340 once that has finished the job it's currently on, and move on to that to clear field 13 off. We're not going to clear 13 off today in enough time to also get the wheat into it, unfortunately. Much as I would love that, it's just not going to be a possibility. I'm determined to have weed-free fields this year. I absolutely do not want to miss a single field which should have been weeded as soon as it's seeded and begun to germinate. Means that I will be heading over to field 6 in December and field 12A and getting rid of any weeds in those wheat fields. Those need absolutely clearing as soon as they germinate next month. The other thing I need to keep an eye on is we're only putting a flat 65 kilograms across all of our fields in so far as nitrogen goes. And that is because what I want to do once we get the money in is to get the crop sensors on this tractor. And then we can use the little spreader that we've got in the shed and get all of our fields topped up with fertilizer in the springtime as the fields are growing. We've got the care wheels on this tractor now, and it will just work really, really well, that kind of setup, to top up our nitrogen and be very, very precise with it. So that's what we're going to do as far as our remaining fertilizer goes. I would love to be more precise while drilling it, but as I said, I'm kind of avoiding putting too much modern technology on these older tractors. I love the idea of the crop sensors on here because it is an attachment that I think would work well on an older tractor like this. The GPS I have discussed before, but we don't actually have a GPS bit that goes on here, and as a result, I'm not a huge fan of GPS on older equipment like this. I love the idea of having to use the compass and try and keep your bearings that way. But yeah, those the sensors for how much nitrogen the actual crop has, I think is a good little compromise for us. We're not doing it when we drill. We're putting in a standard amount, and then yeah, topping it up as needed, as censored on these, I think works really, really well. The other thing that actually got suggested in the comments for Thursday's video was that maybe we should be planting cover crops in those fields that we can't get to at the moment. And I love that idea. I would absolutely love to put cover crops in all those fields. The trouble is that we don't have enough time to drill the fields that we have, even with the 7810 going full pelt and trying to drill as much as possible. I don't think we could really drill cover crops in December. I mean, if we have a particularly good start to December, we might try and do that, and get some cover crop in, get some of the oilseed radish in. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think we have enough, or we can't give those crops enough time to actually build up to be a good cover crop. We're looking at getting the canola in March, the remaining wheat in March, April, and all of our sorghum in April, May. So there's a lot of seeding to do in the new year, and I don't think it will really give any cover crop enough time to grow. And the 7810 has broken down again. It made it quite a way this time. So we'll start it up again, keep it going, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time in a bit to get it repaired. Final row of weeds, and that will then be field 2A, clear of them and finished. And yeah, we just need to then get a little bit of extra nitrogen on it. It's not too bad, this field. We did get this fully done with slurry, so that's good news. Oh yeah, one job we're gonna have to do over the winter is, once we get a bit of money in, I need to do a whole load of manure spreading. I'm hoping January and February are going to be fairly snow free, because if they are, we might actually have a chance to get that done. Let's have a quick look at our weather forecast. So, yeah, we're not too bad now. December looks like we've got snow on the way. Hopefully that won't settle too much. 18 degrees, I'm not expecting it to, so that will be good. we'll want to get all the weeding done early December. Looks like mid-January is going to be fairly clear with quite a lot of snow either side. So if it stays clear, if we get access to our fields in December through to March, we should be all right, I think. Otherwise, I think we're going to struggle a little bit. But we've got the weeds done. We're going to switch this over now onto the roller and head out to field 6 because it is 11:30 in the morning. And I still have 2 fields that are going to have to be rolled today. Otherwise, that's not going to be, well, they're just not going to be done. I was hooking up this roller here. We've got this little plow. I completely forgot that this is sitting here. That's what I was using to do the fields and separate out the fields before. Yeah. We didn't need the big one we got. The big one we got, of course, makes the job a lot easier. But yeah, we've got that little plow sitting there. We don't need to have the big one. Our 7810 has stopped again, but this time the reason is because it is empty. It is run out of seed. So fields around here are fairly horrible as far as the amount of seed they take. They're all silty clay down that side, and as a result they all take the largest seed rate to run. While I've got the opportunity though, I'm going to bring this back to the yard. We'll refill it here and get it repaired at the same time. So pull tractor into here. We will do a quick repair on it. 2,400. Not horrible, but not great. How's our cedar? We'll repair the cedar as well. A little bit of TLC won't go amiss. And then on there, open that up. We can drop our trailer off here. And I hope I can reach across it to get the seeds. Should be able to. And yeah, look at this. We still have plenty of seed and plenty of fertilizer. I think we'll probably, well, we would need to buy more seed in order to get field 13 done. So, switch over to that. Pick up this first bag. And yeah, I don't think we need any extra fertilizer. In fact, I'm going to drop the amount of fertilizer we're using because it's creating some very deep greens, and I'd rather it was slightly under than slightly over. Otherwise, that's just a waste of the fertilizer. So fill up the seeds on this, and then we can get back out to the field with this tractor fully working again. Yeah, these 14% sorry, in the bag. And we can now take the 7810 back to the field and get it back to work. So you can see here, 65 is a little bit higher than we want to be doing, maybe. It's giving some deep greens in places. Back this into position, and then we'll lower that slightly. Yeah, on these bits here especially, it is definitely going higher than it needs to. So I'm just going to drop it down to 55, nearest waypoint, and go. And hopefully that doesn't leave us a gap. Nope. And with everything functioning as it should again, we can leave this continuing to seed. Meanwhile, we've got our 7610 up to field 6, and I'm going to do this myself because, to be in all honesty, there's not much else we can be doing on the farm at the moment. All of our tractors are working. We could get the Zebra out actually to field 1 and sort that out and get the bales off that field. But to be perfectly honest, I think we are better off overseeing this and making sure that this tractor is able to get this job done as quickly as possible today, because we are in a position where if this doesn't get rolled and field 12A doesn't get rolled, we are not going to have a great yield of either of the two fields. And as both are running the wheat, we want to maximize the yield as much as possible. This field is much simpler to do along this long edge here. The little bit of a kink in it is not too much trouble. You can work that out fairly quickly. And then you want to run along the field at about 293 degrees, and then yeah, it runs pretty smoothly, and you end up rolling a lot better angle than the 90 degrees we originally seeded this as. So this rolling here, this will correct how everything is on here, and the little board, the 7610, is doing a grand job of getting this all rolled in, and going fairly speedily across the field. We've got the larger part of it done fairly well straight off the bat, and we should have everything rolled in here hopefully by mid-afternoon. If we can do that, we might get over in time over to 12A to actually get that finished without too much hassle today, and without having to go too late in the evening, as always seems to happen when we're rolling in crops. One thing that worries me a little bit is how long some of these jobs are taking. That we have started the seeder on field 12A at the beginning of today, and it looks like it is doing the headlands at this point. So we're at 2:30, and it's taken that long to do to get to the headlands on 12A. Concerns me a little bit. Looks like field 13 as well is on the headlands as well, so that brightens things up a little bit for me, but that's still a huge amount of time to do 12A, which is, you know, not a massive field compared to fields like 13 and 14, and what we're going to be having as 12B come the new year. It's rather concerning that we might end up with it taking so long to do 13 and 14 that we can't get them done in a single day, which we need to do in order to stay on top of things come the spring planting season. So we're gonna have to look into it. We're gonna have to keep a close eye on it. We've got a fairly good seeder running over there, but it might be that it ends up being that we either need a bigger seeder or we have to look at another way of doing things. Very much into the fiddly bit of field 6 now, as we've got the main part of the field done and trying to get around the headlands on here, and get this triangle sort of bit sorted down this end of the field. It is a fiddly field, this, and I think I would never have really bought field 6 if I had thought, well, if it hadn't come up for auction. I mean, we got field 6 for an absolute steal. Too late to actually plant it the year that we got it, but it has been useful from that point of view of having that extra field, but it is very much a satellite field to the rest of our farm. It's the only field we have the other side of the river, and it sort of sits out here, and I've considered sort of selling it a couple of times and go to get the money in and possibly buy another field, but now that we have everything the other side of the river that we can really afford to work, because field 15 and field 16, I think it is, the other side are just massive. Both 15 and 16 are way beyond anything we can really work at the moment. So yeah, we have nothing the other side of the river at the moment that we're really looking to buy that's attached to our farm. Maybe the sheep pens would be a way to go. So where we are now, field 6, that is really the only place we have to expand. Field 5 would possibly be a good choice if we were to ever look to expand again. But as I said, we are in a position at the moment where we don't have the equipment really to expand the farm further. And I do wonder if field 6 is one of those fields that is just so out of the way for us at the moment that we would be better off selling it off and using the money to maybe pay off a bit of our loan or maybe upgrade our equipment a bit. The 8340 though has finished work. It is almost out of fuel. So I'm going to get this back to the farm and then we can get back out on our roller and get field 6 finished. Really happy that field 13 is done though. We're going to do field 14 with this next. So going into December, this tractor is going to stay on this piece of equipment and we'll get field 14 sorted. Into the really fiddly bit in the corner. Trying to just finish this all off down here. It is 20 past 4 in the afternoon. So yeah, we're going to be working into the evening to get everything rolled. The cedar, the 7810 is coming to the end of where that's seeding on 12A. So that will be done before we finish. I'm expecting it to finish any moment. And we can then head back up there with this and get this working. Wow, some of these turns went really far out. That's all right. We're going to be coming back down here anyway. And yeah, I'm quite happy with this. It's done a great little job, this 7610. It is just the whole thing of getting everything done in a day is quite difficult sometimes. So bring this round, hopefully get all of that corner. Yes. Then get this bit here. Bring us back out, line ourselves up, and we can get this headland bit here done. So I've got the rest of the headlands to just clear up around here, and then we'll head back up to the farm and we'll get field 12A started. Before I get back with the roller though, the cedar has once again run out of seeds. I need to get it opened up first. I'm hoping the 140 liters left in this bag is going to be enough to get this done. I don't really want to have to refill it again today. But yeah, it's gone 10 past 5 and the cedar still has not finished this field, which is really interesting. This started first thing this morning and it's going well into the evening. Something to definitely take into account when we're doing those really big fields. We're gonna have to start them on the first day early in the morning in order to get them to actually be seeded when we're doing it. Otherwise, they're just not gonna get done. Sun has set, but we're back with our roller here over to field 12A. I think that our cedar, yeah, our cedar is up in the top corner. So that is gonna finish shortly. No, in fact, that 140 liters was enough to get it back round the top field once round. So I'm going to have to go and get my... I'm going to have to go and get a big bag and take it out there. And then this 7610, this is going to be going into the evening. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.